I started a business because I thought it was a good idea. I was like, this is a great idea. How could everyone not love it? And I started it, and again, it failed. And at that point that I resolved that I really needed to understand market research. See, most people create products and they create a business because they think it's a good idea, and they find out after they've created their first product or whatever, often after spending like a year or so developing it, that no one wants what they have to sell, that there isn't a market for it, that they can't sell to enough people at high enough prices to justify what they're doing. So at that point, I just like geeked out on market research. And I geeked out not just on the market research, but also on testing. There's just so much information out there from Google, from like just a million different places where we can get numbers on what people are buying, on what the trends are, on what's going on. And if you take that information, you can actually test before you create a product whether or not people want to buy it. And there's a lot of like really, it sounds sketchy, there's a lot of really ethical ways to do that. It's called dry testing, or that's what the old copywriters used to do, or testing at the cash register, like testing whether or not people want to buy your thing by like asking them to actually buy it. And then before you take your credit card, there's just all kinds of things you can do. So I mastered that, and I started to teach it to people. I made this thing called the Business Idea Litmus Test. It was really like amateur. I just like got in front of the computer. I was like, here's how you do it, and I was recording stuff on the screen. Thousands of people ended up downloading that, and that became the impetus for Project Mojave, which we can talk about.
Well, yeah, so before you get into talking about Project Mojave, though, Clay Collins is someone who I've probably been following you for, I think, maybe 2 years.
Okay.
I know
Wow.
Originally you had a blog site called The Growing Life.
Yep.
And then you started up something you were calling Finance Your Freedom.
Yep.
But it seems like I'm going to ask you, go ahead and like tell a little bit of the story behind those two sites and what you were doing there and writing about. But I think like it took you a while to find what you were really passionate about. And I feel like I've kind of seen like the quality of your writing and your videos really go like skyrocket, because it seems like you've really found what you're passionate about.
Yeah, I really think that, our purpose, I made a video about this, but I think our purpose is a path. It's not a destination, and it's not a place. And I've always been really passionate about writing and communicating things. I started The Growing Life because I had read like